Have you ever been in an elevator with strangers? Nobody talks. Nobody looks at each other. And suddenly, those few seconds of silence feel incredibly awkward. Or maybe you've been sitting alone in your room with no music, no phone, no TV, just silence. It sounds peaceful, but for many people, it quickly becomes uncomfortable. Why? Why do we rush to fill every quiet moment with noise? Why do we constantly check our phones, turn on background music, or start random conversations? Here's the bigger question. What if silence isn't the problem? What if silence reveals something we're trying to avoid? Today, we're going to explore the fascinating psychology behind silence and discover why being alone with our thoughts can feel so difficult. The human brain is always active. Even when you're doing absolutely nothing, your mind is still working behind the scenes. It's constantly processing memories, worries, plans, and emotions. Silence removes distractions. And when distractions disappear, your thoughts become louder. Suddenly, you're reminded of unfinished tasks, past mistakes, future worries, questions you haven't answered. Many people assume silence creates discomfort. But in reality, silence often exposes discomfort that was already there. The noise of everyday life usually keeps these thoughts hidden. When the noise disappears, the mind has nowhere to run. Think about how often people avoid being alone with their thoughts. The moment they wake up, they grab their phone. While eating, they watch videos. During a short break, they scroll social media. Before sleeping, they play music or podcasts. Why? Because silence creates a mirror. And sometimes we don't like what that mirror shows us. In silence, we're forced to confront our insecurities, fears, regrets, and unanswered questions. Many people spend years avoiding these thoughts, not because they're weak, but because self-reflection can be uncomfortable. Silence removes the escape routes, and that's exactly why it feels so powerful. Silence isn't only uncomfortable when we're alone. It can also feel strange in social situations. Imagine sitting across from someone and neither of you says anything. Within seconds, tension starts to build. Your brain begins asking questions. Did I say something wrong? Are they upset? Should I say something? Humans are social creatures. We're constantly looking for signals that tell us we're accepted and understood. Conversation provides those signals. Silence creates uncertainty, and the brain hates uncertainty. As a result, many people talk simply to eliminate the discomfort of not knowing what others are thinking. Modern life is louder than ever. Notifications, messages, videos, advertisements, podcasts, music, news updates. For thousands of years, humans experienced long periods of quiet. Today, silence has become rare. Many people haven't spent even 10 minutes completely disconnected from technology. We've become so accustomed to constant stimulation that silence now feels unusual. It's like walking from a brightly lit room into darkness. At first, it feels uncomfortable, not because darkness is bad, but because we're not used to it. The same thing happens with silence. Interestingly, silence doesn't shut the brain off. Research suggests that when external noise decreases, a network inside the brain called the default mode network becomes more active. This system is involved in self-reflection, memory, imagination, and understanding ourselves. In other words, silence gives the brain time to process. It's during quiet moments that people often have their biggest insights, solutions to problems, creative ideas, important realizations. Many breakthroughs don't happen while we're busy. They happen when we finally slow down enough to think. Silence creates space for that process. In one famous experiment, researchers gave participants a surprising choice. They could either sit quietly with their own thoughts for a short period, or give themselves a mild electric shock. The result was shocking, literally. Many participants chose the electric shock rather than sitting alone with their thoughts. Think about that. Some people preferred physical discomfort over mental silence. This study revealed something important. Being alone with our minds isn't always easy. For many people, silence brings up thoughts and emotions they would rather avoid. And that's exactly why we fill our lives with distractions, not because we're entertained, but because we're escaping. Here's the surprising twist. The thing that makes silence uncomfortable is also what makes it valuable. Silence helps us process emotions, reduce mental overload, improve focus, increase self-awareness, and strengthen creativity. It's similar to exercise. A workout can feel difficult in the moment, but the challenge is what creates growth. Silence works the same way. The more comfortable you become with quiet moments, the better you understand yourself. And self-understanding is one of the most powerful skills a person can develop. If silence feels uncomfortable, don't worry. That's completely normal. The goal isn't to force yourself into hours of quiet. Start small. Spend 5 minutes without your phone. Take a walk without headphones. Sit quietly and simply observe your thoughts. Don't judge them. Don't fight them. Just notice them. At first, your mind may feel restless. That's okay. Over time, silence becomes less threatening, and eventually, something surprising happens. So, why does silence make us uncomfortable? Because silence removes distractions. It exposes uncertainty. It forces us to face our thoughts, and it reveals parts of ourselves that everyday noise keeps hidden. But silence isn't your enemy. It's one of the few places where you can truly hear yourself. In a world that never stops talking, silence has become a rare skill, and those who learn to embrace it often discover something powerful. The answers they've been searching for were already inside them. They were just buried beneath the noise. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more psychology and self-improvement content. And here's a question for you. When was the last time you sat in complete silence, even for just 5 minutes? Let me know in the comments below.